let's drink our 1-year-old Meadowfoam Mead. Welcome to the tasting room where we drink adult beverages
and judge them.
I'm Brian.
I'm Derica.
And this is mead made from Meadowfoam honey. Now, Meadowfoam is known for its marshmallow style flavors.
We are honored to have a member of our collective named Ron Nynum, and we are nicknaming him Ron Meadowfoam Nynum.
Yep.
Because
the Meadowfoam Man.
He supplies
the
us
Meadowfoam Man.
the Meadowfoam
I like
Man,
that.
Which, if you're naughty, if you just do the abbreviation of, or the first two letters of Meadowfoam.
Ron M.F. Nynum.
All right. Anyway,
so this is 1.024 final gravity and 11.5%. And what she's saying about Ron is he seems to go to the Flying Bee Ranch every year, and he sends us Meadowfoam mead every time he goes. He just sent us another 5 pounds, I think. Yeah.
Ta-da!
It's just awesome.
Thanks, Ron.
We're actually working on a recipe. We're going to make one of his.
Yeah.
He's working on it now. I'm going to work with him on it, and we'll get back to you with that. But anyway.
But this is just straight up Meadowfoam mead, which means it's simplistic in its ingredients, but it is beautiful in color.
Yeah, check out that color. That is really nice and clear. It's got a beautiful like bourbon color.
Yeah.
I know I say the whiskey thing a lot, but
this is much darker than a traditional mead typically is.
Yeah, definitely.
Normally it's more in the yellow range. This is like a nicely...
Yeah, this is almost caramelized.
Yeah.
Caramelized.
In color.
Yeah.
Now, the aroma.
Not as marshmallowy as you want.
No.
This is one thing that we learned, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to be a little bit of a downer. When you ferment Meadowfoam honey, it loses some of the marshmallowiness. It's great as a back sweetening. That's what we learned for the s'mores, I think we did.
But the aroma, if you push away any thoughts of marshmallow and you think about the aroma that you're getting, I'm getting hints of citrus.
Yep, definitely. Like kiwi.
We're on a kiwi kick right now. We keep putting off eating kiwi. I've had a kiwi before.
Actually, it's almost like pineapple.
I'm getting orange. No. But I think I'm kind of stuck on the bourbon aspect and the color. And so I'm thinking about what whiskey notes, citrusy whiskey notes, and that's true. Orange.
That's true. It doesn't smell like whiskey, though.
It does not.
But some of the notes are there.
And now that you said pineapple, I'm getting pineapple.
Like a cooked pineapple, like pineapple upside down cake.
And then there's almost like I always come up with wood, but not wood, aged, but not aged, cooked. Aroma.
Cooked.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, this has an odd acidic smell that I'm trying to place. I've gotten it a few times in meads. Don't get me wrong.
We got it in our mesquite mead, but that was...
it's not an offensive smell.
It seemed appropriate for mesquite.
It's not offensive. It smells okay. It doesn't smell great to me.
All right, it's time for Flavor Town.
All right, here we go. It tastes way better than it smells. The smell is okay.
Absolutely.
The smell is okay.
Flavor.
The taste is really nice.
Oh.
It's got a richness and a velvety mouth feeling.
What are you getting on the after?
Marshmallow.
I got like a tinge of black pepper. I think I did an abrupt swallow, and so that might have confused my palate, but...
No, I'm not getting black pepper. Sorry, babe. I do get the like a vanilla marshmallow note on the back end. It's very rich, almost creamy, velvety in the mouth, very filling. There is a hint of citrus going on there.
Yep.
Just a touch. I was just going to say, what honey did we use in this? Wow, it's been a day, okay?
It's surprisingly complex on the palate.
It really is.
There's
Usually,
a lot going on.
Traditionals don't have a tremendous amount going for them, and you got to do it just right or else it tastes weird. There's a lot there. I am getting a slight cooked flavor, like you're saying, like a wood note almost, an oaked note. And that's like a little bit of vanillin, a little bit of a caramel, I say caramel, sorry, taste coming through. that works really well with the marshmallowiness of the marshmallowiness came back. I don't remember this having that much
And the
marshmallow.
citrusy note,
That's new.
yeah, where did that come from? I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah. I'm impressed. Now let's see if the smell makes more sense. Because sometimes after you taste something, the smell
Yeah.
makes sense. It sort of does. A little bit better.
It still smells less appealing than the flavor, which is weird.
Someone suggested something that we might want to start playing with. Letting them breathe. Because it is possible that it's just sitting there in its funk for a whole year. You know, let it breathe, and it could get better. I don't know. But one thing we want to talk about. We are drinking this neat room temperature because we started a new thing. We look up what you should drink something at before we drink it. And for mead, it was like light, dry, white, like lighter meads.
Should be chilled.
Should be chilled. Whereas a heavier, richer one can be drank neat or at room temperature.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a richer,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look at it. You know,
Yeah.
it looks like bourbon. But it's definitely a strong flavor.
Oh,
it's
for
It's
sure.
got a lot of flavor. We've
Yeah.
had some pretty watery traditionals.
This is
in
not
our
that.
time.
Nope.
No, this one lets you know that you're drinking something interesting. I would swear there was more than just honey. in
I
this
would
stuff.
as well. And
Like spices, herbs,
There's-
some fruit maybe.
yeah, there is so much going on that I'm actually having difficulty trying to verbalize all the different notes that I'm getting because there's lots.
One thing that I get is it's very smooth and very balanced.
The texture that you're talking about in the mouth is beautiful.
It's
I'm really
velvety.
enjoying that.
Yeah, it's very coating. I get it comes in really, really nice and sweet, but then there's like this. Wow, it's not quite an umami thing, but almost that kind of negates the sweetness and makes it just neutral. And that's when I start getting more of the flavors, the citrus flavors, the marshmallow flavors.
Yep.
And then it comes back a little sweet towards the back of the throat again. It's a journey. I mean, this one's actually a journey.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Even though it is surprisingly complex for being a traditional mead, I feel like the notes in it would allow it to be paired with food.
Yeah, like fruits and desserts, things like that. It's a
Even-
sweeter
Even
mead.
certain meals, I think, I wouldn't put it with tomato sauce. I think that would be bad.
I will just go out and say this. I don't normally drink alcohol with food. I just don't. So that's why for me it's harder to find pairings
Sure.
because I don't really do that. You tend to do that.
I do it a lot.
So what would you pair this with? See? Put her on the spot now.
Well, something, because you talked about the umami part, and I feel like,
That's a temporary thing on this.
right, but I feel like paired with something that has a rich mushroom
Fried rice.
with some, like the dried mushrooms that are really rich in umami, I think those two notes would play off each other in a nice fashion.
I think this would go well with like barbecue too, though.
Yeah.
Because it's got some sweetness, but it's
Something
not
extra
super
meaty.
sweet.
I think,
Yeah, something really rich and heavy.
Yeah.
This would go well with. It'll cut
But-
it back a little bit.
but not a bolognese or anything with tomato sauce. I don't think tomato would work with this.
Probably not. There's a lot of honey note and a lot of the marshmallow candy type of note. That's why not a lot of food this is going to work with. I think dessert, though, with a cheesecake, this would be amazing. Any kind of cheesecake, as long as it's New York. Well, they make strawberry, blueberry,
Yeah, well, we
chocolate.
can agree to disagree on the cheesecake front.
Why? What other kind of cheesecake do you like?
We already had this discussion.
We have.
This is the wrong channel for that.
Okay. You say so.
So yeah, it is time.
To judge it.
All right. So on your screen, you should be seeing our scoring system. And it goes 1 through 10 on paper. But in reality, there's super secret 0 and 11 on there too. Because some things just absolutely suck and some things are just stupendously amazing. This is definitely not a 0. Teasers, But where? Where does it fall? See, there's a couple ways to do a scoring like this. You can either start at the top and work your way down off of deficiencies, or you can work from the bottom and go up, or you can say, I've had other things that I liked better or worse than this. Where does this fall? I'm using a combination of the three today. There's not a lot of things that I would call deficiencies here. There is an odd bitter note in the 3/4 palate that's kind of not so pleasant to me, and that is in the smell. That's what I'm getting from the smell.
Now that you've said barbecue, I'm getting barbecue.
Okay. And that's the power of suggestion right there, you know? So taking from the top down, there's just minor little things that don't thrill me. Taking from the bottom up, there's a bunch of things to like. But compared to other things that we've made recently that I scored, where do I put this? And I think I have a number.
All right, you do as well.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 8. We have been doing this a lot lately. Just the same number. On the dot, same number.
I feel like I rarely give 8s when I'm scoring. I'm normally either in the 9 range if I like something,
the 5.
or the 7 range if I like something. And if I don't like it, then it's lower than 7. I rarely get the 8. But for me, this felt like an 8 because I do like it. I really am enjoying the complexity. I am not enjoying the aroma, which you know, if you know me, I really like smelling things. So that took it down a notch or two. And so I felt like this wasn't as good as some of the things that would push into the 9 category. But it had a lot going for it that I didn't feel like it needed to go in the 7 category. So that's why I gave it an 8.
Yeah, I'm with you there. To me, 8 is kind of like the clearly great range without being stupendous.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where this is. Like 7 to me that's a great mead. That's the beginning of something being called great. And then 8 is a notch or two above that. But it's not a 9 or a 10. It's just not.
Right. If this was something that we crafted with built-in complexity with a long range of ingredients, I may honestly have knocked it down farther than an 8. Because this was so simple to make and had such few ingredients, even though Meadowfoam, depending on where you're at, can be a little pricey.
Yeah.
I couldn't knock it down too far because for something so simple, this is so complex and I like layers.
I would say, though, that Meadowfoam honey still works better as an additive after the fact, as a flavor enhancer rather than a fermenter, because that odd smell is what throws me off with the Meadowfoam.
Yep.
And we've gotten it with a couple other honeys too, but mostly I see it on the Meadowfoam. And that, like, I'd almost rather we just made a basic mead with like Kirkland honey or something and then back sweetened with the Meadowfoam. And I think it would come out better.
Possibly.
Yeah, we might have to. Well, we've done that sort of test already. Did we use Meadowfoam? No, we used Hawaiian honeys. To do that one, and they came out awesome.
They did.
Just amazing. We may have to test that theory though.
Sure.
This is the last bottle of this though, isn't it?
Yes.
Shit.
Because I don't.
I'm pretty sure I drank all the rest. I want to say this was actually a little bit better younger. Because I drank it.
I feel like it probably was. And I think it may have retained more of the marshmallow notes.
See, I don't remember the marshmallow in the youth. It just, there's something about the flavor now and the smell. It's mostly the smell.
Yeah.
But anyway, we won't be able to compare this one to a flavored one because this will not last that long. I don't know. Do we want to try that? Maybe. We'll think about it and get back to you. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.